Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I normally don't go live on a Sunday. I try to do this on Facebook Live, but I guess I'm not smart enough to do this on Facebook Live. So I had to come to my streaming software to get this done. But this is a very important day because this morning I seen something and I'm starting to see more of what I've been asking for. And I don't care. Like I told you, when I first did this, I wasn't worried about my name being tagged in it or my position being told on it. My whole thing is to try to get Texas something in return for their politics. That's my whole thing. I don't care about nothing else. I want Texas to change with James Talarico. And let me share something. Let me show you what got me on this Facebook Live. And I can stay small after this because I when I get through talking, I need you to understand something that this is about those three people that's in that picture. You see James Talarico leaning in a little bit, don't you? You see that black girl that's in the middle? Her name is Latoya Green. I'm gonna tell you about her in just a minute. You see that lady that's standing on the end over there? Gina Hinojosa, that's running for the governor of Texas. And you say, why is this significant? You always hear me talking about people that's out there taking pictures with these politicians, and I call it skinning and grinning. But let me share something with you about this picture. That young lady in the middle, most of y'all don't know her. I don't even think the two bookends on the end. Not Gina, not James. Neither one of them know who she is. So let me tell you, I've been following Latoya Green ever since she was in the military and she got out and she retired. Latoya Green is significant. Her significance comes at the price probably of her military career. Retirement coming early. It wasn't because she was a bad soldier. It was because she stood on something that she believed in. And see, if ever you want to see somebody that you should get behind, it should be Latoya Green. And again, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna make myself clear. Those two bookends don't know who they took a picture with. This is not smiling for the camera. This is not skinning and grinning. This is bigger than one campaign, one candidate, and one election. The photo says we need both. We need both of those individuals on the bookends of that. We need James Talarico. We need Gina Hinojosa. But let me share something with you that caught my attention. I've been following, I'm going to say it again. I've been following her ever since she got in the military. She retired. I'm just checking my life. She retired probably earlier than she should have, but probably best for her. Standing there is Latoya Green, a retired soldier. Latoya served her country, but while she was serving, she also brought forth other female soldiers. She saw something that needed to be changed. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why, because I have to explain it to you. Not every female soldier has a naturally built body, the same shape, same size. Women go on to have babies, and their body changes over a period of time. Does that make them a bad soldier? No. Some of them can still pass a PT test, but they had something, a take test that was unfair to soldiers that was built different, female soldiers and males that were built different than other people. See, because if you take a average person and you put them out there, first thing you say is, you're overweight. They judge you by being overweight. But let me tell you this is the thing that's going to surprise you. That woman that's standing between both of them, She stood for women who were being harassed, judged, understand the judgments. She pushed for a change. She ended up leaving the military, but she left something on the military that can't nobody else say that they did. And I just told you about part of the problem, but men was fit in that same category. Not all men are fit the same. You can't standardize what a person is good at, because those same men that were over the standard of what the Army calls standards, they could still pass a PT test. They was real good at their job. The only thing that was holding them back was that standard test that they use for tape measuring soldiers. Latoya stood up and she fought for this change. Latoya eventually got the change before she got out of the military. And people was harassing her left and right, talking about she wasn't this, she wasn't that. And I guarantee you, half of them big old soldiers that was talking to her, that outranked her, couldn't do half the stuff that she could do when she was in the military. She changed that standard by being vocal. She changed that standard maybe by sacrificing her career. And I heard her get into it with a lot of senior officials. And she come on Facebook just like I'm doing right now, talking to you about it. That's how I found out who she was. But she stood on that stage with those two individuals, and they never knew that she had did something more significant than they did. She changed the rules in which the military, I ain't gonna say military, I'm gonna say in which the Army handle people of different proportions. And if you don't think that was important, because see, the Army has a program that will get you out of the military if you don't meet the guidelines of what the military, and it's just one of those excuses that they use to get people out of the military that they don't like, that they didn't like. Yeah, they was overweight. Could they pass a physical PT test? Yeah. Could they meet all the minimum requirements? Yeah, on PT test. But the Army took it one step further because of their weight. And again, women are different than men, but some men fell into the same category, because I have taken men along with women, and they had two different categories. And you say, well, Ron, how did you know so much about this? When I was in the service, they had a program called Master Fitness Training. It was promoting getting everybody ready. They brought the whole Master Fitness squad over from the US to Germany to teach individuals without having to ship them back. It was cheaper to bring the teachers and the materials to Germany than it was for them to send somebody back to the States to attend the course. And I just happened to be in that course when they came over in Germany. I was recommended by my battalion commander to go. And of course I got there. And when I got there, I didn't have the rank of everybody else that was there and that was required for that course. So when I got there, I had to call back to my battalion commander because they didn't believe that he sent a person of my rank there to take that course. So he had to speak up for me and say, yeah, I want him to take that course. He leads my battalion in PT. He does a couple of things within the battalion and stuff like that. And he spoke up for me to take that course. And I was able to take the course. It's called Master Fitness Training. It's still on my DD Form 214. When I'm looking at her, and when I see her, and I know the structure in which she fought against, because I had soldiers that outranked me that I pulled the same tape test on. One of them they were husband and wife. The husband was okay. The wife had just had a child, and she was recovering. A black female that was recovering. Her husband was one of those guys that had spit shine boots. His uniform was iron. She had on spit shine boots. Her uniform was iron. She knew the military front and back, and both of them shared in the same household. And I'll never forget this. They worked with me every day. They were outstanding soldiers, but she just couldn't push that her body wasn't made for that tape measure that we was measuring. And I remember sitting there going through it, and the battalion commander, command sergeant major, telling me that she needed to pass that part of it. She needed to pass the tape measure that was part of the Army standard. You see, on the outside, most of y'all don't understand looking in, but that was the standard in which the military got people out of the military, out of service. They didn't care how good you was. They didn't care how much rank you had. If you couldn't meet that standard, they was going to process you out. And part of processing you out before, so you couldn't say anything back on the military, they put you in an extra PT. Sometimes it was in the morning and afternoon. And it was mandatory that those soldiers showed up for those PT, for that extra PT training. And when they showed up, it wouldn't have helped them. I even had officers in that same course. Mandatory. It wouldn't have helped them because it didn't matter what you do. If your body shape is of a different size and you built different than somebody else, and as you age, your body transitions to different sizes, it doesn't make a difference. And you asking me, why am I going all the way through this? Because that woman that's standing between James Talarico and Gina Hinojosa right now is a woman that made the Army change their standards for that part of it. She made them reevaluate where they was. She was the one that pushed the initiative. So when you look at Gina Hinojosa and you look at Talarico in that picture, that woman that's standing in the middle that they don't know anything about, that's standing there with them, in support of them, is the one woman in the military that every female soldier that I know of, after the date that she went through, after everything that she went through, she made a bigger sacrifice. Now she doesn't brag on it. I know she doesn't, because I wouldn't have caught it unless I actually start paying attention to what she was saying during her post. She has another female. Let me just jump here because I need you to go with me a little bit on this. She has a female friend that was a sergeant major that went through a couple of schools that guys couldn't even pass. This woman had stage 4 cancer. And she loved the military. If you've seen anything about her, you've seen military all over her. And I met her through Latoya Green by paying attention to her post. And this woman was a sergeant major, the highest rank that you could go as an enlisted member. What processed her out of the military was stage 4 cancer. I can tell you, people like Latoya and the female that I'm talking about, and God forgive me, I know they're gonna get this post and they're gonna say, how come you didn't say her name? I think her last name was Simmons, though. This is what Latoya did when in uniform before she got out. So Latoya, I salute you. You served your country. You fought for your fellow soldiers, and you stood for a bigger cause than yourself. Gina and James are starting to appear more together. If you look behind me, I'm gonna bring up my post because I need you to see this part. I'll bring up myself. I don't care if it's not about Texas first, because that's not what it's about. What it's about is getting them two together so we as Texans get more for our vote. And that vote is Gina Hinojosa and James Talarico. And what we need from the reason why Texas first is because all this other stuff is about to, they putting out all kind of ads. Abbott, Paxton, everything that they're doing is going downhill. They are getting desperate. It's about 88, what is it, 88 maybe? maybe 80 days out from the election cycle, and they're getting desperate now. They're going to start pulling out all the stops. We need to understand that we make a difference, and everybody is watching Texas. Everybody. Every southern state on at the bottom is watching Texas. You know what Texas has the ability to do? During this election cycle, they have the ability to turn blue. They have the ability to turn blue. And that picture that I showed you of those three individuals, you know James Talarico, you didn't know Latoya Green, but now you do. And she never even mentions any of this on her Facebook page. Latoya Green. Again, anybody that's in the military that's a female or a male that's overweight or disproportionate by body size, they should thank Latoya Green. They really should thank Latoya Green and salute her just like I did. Because she has given them the ability to stay. Now, we need to change Texas from red to blue. That's what we need to do. I know I put my hand in my face too much when I'm doing this video, but we need to change Texas from red to blue, not purple. We're going to skip all over purple because we're going to put a governor, a lieutenant governor, and a new senator in the state offices of Texas. And the only way we can do it is that we're going to have to combine and unify, because if we combine blacks with Hispanics and undecided voters, we are the minority. Let's understand that we are the minority. If we can combine our efforts, my black brothers and sisters, my Hispanic brothers and sisters, and my people out there that's undecided, or people that's registered to vote that don't believe they have a purpose in voting, let me give you a purpose. If Texas turns blue, it benefits you. You don't have an excuse to say, I don't want to get involved no more. No. If you vote and Texas turns blue, it benefits you. We need to stick together, build our foundation around unity, and then one day we'll realize that somebody that looks like me will have the same chance to become governor of Texas. But this is as close as we ever came to turning Texas blue. And if you don't think they're afraid, I want you to start watching how much money they spend. I'm starting to see the democratic process begin to realize at what point we are, regardless of what I've been said or what I've been putting out there. I don't care if it don't amount to a hill of beans. If the state of Texas turns blue, so be it. See, some people do it for the prestige. I don't. I'm getting out here telling you the reasons why Texas turning blue. I'm giving out here showing you the reason why people matter when you look at pictures. When you put James Talarico and Jenna Hinojosa in the same picture with a soldier that has served her time and made it better for everybody else, that's the same thing that Jenna Hinojosa and James Talarico are trying to do. Make it better. I just need y'all to understand that that wasn't just any significant person in the middle. Her name is Latoya Green, and she's still fighting for soldiers that are in the military. She's still challenging them. Go out to her page, find out who she is. You'll know. You'll know. And hopefully you go out to her page and find out who that Sergeant Major I was telling you about too. Because she is some kind of special too. Stage 4 cancer. Still going. Still going. And we cannot leave this podcast without saying thank God, thank God, thank God. And another thing that we can't do. Texas first. We got to put Texas first if we want to change our environment. Now on that stage, you had two people. I want to leave you with this picture. I want to leave you with this picture. James Talarico, Latoya Green, and Gina Hinojosa. If we want to turn Texas blue, that's the way it's got to look. Everybody's got to come together in one picture. Texas, put Texas first. Put Texas first. Put Texas first. Y'all take care. I'm out of here. I didn't want to stay that long. I just wanted to get this out. I tried to do it on Facebook Live earlier, and I just wasn't smart enough to get it going. It kept on spinning. I hope that you got a chance to see this. Texas first is all I'm going to say.